Hi, Bill Noble here with a special edition of Quant Insights. I'm joined by our expert analyst, Jad. Jad, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. Happy to be here with you today.
All right, everybody, let's talk about what we're going to tell you, and then we'll tell you, and then we'll tell you what we told you. Why? Because what we got to tell you is important, because this market could be turning around, okay? TokenMetrics.com specializes in special quant indicators that are enhanced by AI and machine learning. All right. The guy that you're going to listen to present is one of the guys that makes all that happen. All right. One thing that is really interesting is that we've got AI and machine learning models that aggregate the Token Metrics grading system for all coins to give you kind of like an all market crypto indicator. So instead of looking at just Bitcoin, we can actually look at the whole market. And guess what? The whole market from a momentum quant point of view is going green. That means you should not go anywhere. And Jad is going to give you the 411, and we're going to also give you from our fundamental team, right, some of the, like, I don't know, I guess the descriptions, for lack of a better term, of some of the coins that have mooned lately. So we're going to talk about where it's going, and then we're going to talk about where it's been and what's gone up and what hasn't. So Jad, take it away with the good stuff.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bill. All right, just give me a second to share my screen right here. Yeah, just like you said, Bill. So at Token Metrics, we are using AI machine learning to navigate this crypto universe. So you guys should be already aware and familiar with our bread and butter, which is the TM grade, which is essentially a grade developed by our machine learning and AI system to give us an indication on how the momentum is playing out on specific coins. Now, the nice thing is that earlier on, maybe a year or two ago, we would usually look at Bitcoin to know or to get insights on the entire market as a whole. But for the past year or so, that really hasn't been the case. Bitcoin is not the entire market anymore. So the way we wanted to develop indicators on the market, moving away from just looking at the big coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, we wanted to look at all the TM grades that we have in our system for all the coins we have. We are essentially looking, okay, how many coins have a high TM grade? How many coins have a low TM grade out of all the coins in the universe? And that is giving us a much better understanding in which market regime we are in terms of a bullish market or a bearish market. So here in this chart is the total crypto market cap, where we put in our signals based on the TM grades of the entire crypto universe. So as you can see, the most recent bearish signal came in early November, where the crypto market cap was around 2.75. So it was really good time to get out of the market, where we see here this bearish signal. And now today, actually yesterday was the first time that our market indicator flipped to a bullish or to green. And that was a big change, because as you can see here, we did see some short-term rallies or bear market rallies that occurred while our market indicator didn't really flip green. So this is the first time that it actually flipped green since November. So that's a pretty good sign that momentum in crypto is catching up. And yeah, and the way we construct this indicator, like I said, we're just looking at how many coins have a low or high TM grade. And as of now, we have more than 50% of all the coins graded very high. And another interesting aspect that I want to show you.
All right, so hold on. Right. So what you're saying is, even now that the crypto market hasn't been really rallying much, the actual AI token metrics grades have been rising, right? Even if the market is going sideways. Is that accurate?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, like you said, we've been in this kind of range where, if you want to think of Bitcoin, it will be like the 37 to 45K range. Throughout that entire range, we didn't see the TM grade of the big coins going up as we are seeing it today. Today, here in blue, we are seeing that, okay, most of the TM grades are getting high graded. When you see the blue curve go down, means that a lot of coins are getting high graded, and the orange curve is the top 300 coins. So here, the difference between this short-term rally and today's uptrend is that not only we're seeing high grades in the top 10, we're also seeing very high grades in the entire sphere of the top 300 coins. So that's giving us a little bit more confidence that the current move in the market is not similar to the previous short-term rallies that didn't really pay off, and that's why our indicator just flipped bullish on this the current rally and not the previous one.
All right, so let me read that back. So our mathematics done by Jad are differentiating between a bear market rally that you shouldn't buy, because we've talked about not buying strength, versus telling you now that things are changing, right? Where this rally is more mathematically real than before, which could lead you to either a dip buying strategy or a momentum breakout strategy in the event the market accelerates. All right, Jad, back to you.
Yeah, perfectly said. So and other type of indicators we also build just to get an idea on how the market is working. So we've already developed and we presented a breakout strategy, which is very simple. They call it the turtle strategy, where you usually have a breakout if you are breaking above a 30-day rolling high, or a breakout on downside if you're breaking below the 30-day rolling low. And as of now, when you see these green clouds, it means that, okay, there's more of a bullish momentum catching up. And now it's pretty big compared to these short-term rallies where it wasn't big. So that's a different type of indicator. And another quantitative point I want to share is that now, compared to this entire downtrend, now is the first time that we're actually seeing the majority of coins trading above their 21-day exponential moving average. So that's also a signal that momentum is catching up on the upside.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it might be a good time to consider buying dips. And using very simple models like this here, where we're just plotting some moving averages with some deviations to get an idea on where support is, where resistance is. This is for Bitcoin, for example. So we can see that we're right now on the 90-day moving average. So we can still be a bit patient to see if we're going to find support or actually resistance at that point. And similar story for Ethereum as well. All right. And okay, so now if you want to look at the past week, what has been happening in terms of our platform, Token Metrics, our indices, we can see that the weekly high cap indices, all of them performed very, very well. All of them are positive, and they had pretty good performances across the board, depending on different exchanges. So here the point is, if someone joins Token Metrics and he can only trade on a specific exchange, like let's say Kraken or Qcoin, if you can only trade on Qcoin, then we have this feature that is the Token Metrics indices, where at each rebalance we show you, okay, these are the best coins to buy right now on this exchange. And that really simplifies all this investing and trading in crypto. And so far, the past week's return has been pretty good for our indices. And here's the top 5 performing indices over the past 7 days. So that's just showing you guys that you can just leverage the Token Metrics indices, follow them up, and trade the way they are trading to be exposed to this model that we use that leverages the TM grade and the machine learning aspect behind it.
Okay, so what Jad is saying in sum is that if you have a particular exchange that you follow, or you want to pick exchanges, Token Metrics indices can help answer the eternal question, what should I do? Right? I'm looking for 4 or 5 coins, right, that I want to invest in, day trade or weekly. We help you break it down by exchanges, right? And we also break it down by small and large cap. What Jad is telling you is, last week when ETH went from 25 to 3,000, It wasn't just Bitcoin and ETH. The whole market did a lot better than you might think, right? In other words, it was an across the board, across exchange rally. I mean, Gate.io weekly, okay? Is that
it's
low cap
in this case?
So, right. So one of the things we were talking about on the market update is frequently when you get a bottom, the stuff that's lower quality or more speculative rallies first. Back in 2009, off the lows, it was all the toxic assets and housing, okay, that did the biggest rally along with S&P. So one of the things that our indices and JAD allow you to see is what's happening underneath the surface. Like you can look at TradingView and you can have like 400 symbols on a watch list. But with Token Metrics, you can say, hey, look, on some of the more speculative exchanges, small coins were up 30% last week. And everything is going green on the momentum indicator. So speculative juices are out there despite a macro geopolitical situation. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
Does it tell you crypto's coming back? So let me turn it back over to Jed.
Exactly what you said. It really simplifies this entire thing. And we can really see that leveraging the TM grade will allow you to find these small or I would say like speculative coins that have very strong short-term play or very strong short-term forward performances. And that's the whole point of the TM grade. And talking about the TM grade, if you would just look at the TM grades over last week and how they performed over till today, we can see some coins that me personally I didn't really know of, like Ishi, for example. It popped up as a 88 TM grade last week, so on March 16 had 88 TM grade, and up to today it did an 87%. So that shows you that the TM grade can help you find these unknown coin. I wouldn't say unknown, but these coins that you wouldn't really be paying attention to that are having very strong breakouts. Good examples are NFTY token and Ishi token and Maple, which we will discuss a bit later on after I show you how the TM grade performed in terms of fundamental analysis on these coins themselves. So here, just to show you guys that if you just look at high-graded TM coins, the performance over the next week or so usually tends to be pretty good at catching these breakout coins. All right, so now if we want to go a bit deeper in understanding what is going on. So here is the NFTY token price chart in red on this axis, and the blue curve is the actual TM grade on this axis. So here you can clearly see that, okay, NFTY at this point in time was trading at, let's say here, around 8 cents, while its TM grade was already in 88. And it did go up to 18 cents. Now it's back to 14 cents. But still, you can see that, okay, this TM grade really caught up this big breakout that happened later on.
So the grade moved when the trend was just starting, and then the coin followed.
It really caught the first breakout. You see, we had an initial breakout, and then it really flagged it. Okay, like this is catching very strong momentum. Let's pay attention to it. Let's look at it. Let's buy it if it's pretty high in terms of TM grade. And then it did a little bit more than a 2x. Similar story for Ishi. Ishi is really a coin that I didn't really know of until the past few days, where I looked at its TM grade being very high consistently, and it did also perform extremely well. You can see here, at this point in time, the grade was in the high 80s, 87, and was trading around $17, and now it's around 40 or so dollars. So that's also another example of how this coin works. Now I'm going to go through a few other examples, and then I'm going to talk about the fundamental aspects behind these coins, because we have a research team at Token Metrics that went through these coins, saw they had a very high TM grade, so did a little bit of fundamental research behind it that I will share today. But first, let's also look at Maple. Very good performance, and also I think Bill, it's been showing up in our indices for quite some time as well. So that shows that, okay, TM grade can help you capture these coins. And from that point in time only, when the grade was around 90, price was around 22, did a 2x in a matter of a couple of weeks. Similar story for Lido DAO. We had an initial up move, and then the TM grade really went up a lot and was able to catch the very much stronger move later on. All right. So now we've discussed a few coins that our model and machine learning engine was able to flag through the TM grade. So the first one I showed you guys is NFTY token, which did almost 2x since the grade was extremely high. And as of today, it's still pretty high. It has a grade of 88, which is pretty good. And the NFTY token is essentially a cross-chain NFT infrastructure. It's trying to be the bridge between the NFT communities and metaverse communities. And this specific token is just a utility token of the ecosystem to use for governance, and you can also stake it. And it's been up 137% just in the past 7 days. And these are the exchanges where you can actually trade that coin. So that's for NFTY. And then you have Maple, which is an on-chain financing for institution, for lending and borrowing aspects of DeFi. MPL is their governance tokens, where you earn fees and you can stake it as well. And it's been up 66% past 7 days, so that's pretty good. And it's tradable on the big exchanges like Coinbase and some decentralized exchanges like Uniswap and Balancer. And still, TM grade is still pretty high right now. Ethereum Classic, also pretty high TM grade, and it went crazy in the past few days. I know we've been seeing it popping up on the Token Metrics platform because it had pretty high TM grade, and it's been going up, and it's been in a pretty strong uptrend as of now.
All right. So as he goes to the next one, think about it, right? NFT metaverse bridge, cross-chain DeFi, Rune has been rallying, right? Institutional investing, the new monetary order. Okay. Ethereum Classic, something highly speculative, unloved, the Litecoin of the layer one world. Okay. What rallies off a bottom? Themes, right? And stuff no one owns.
And an interesting theme we've been seeing is, like NFTY token, we also saw Origin Protocol, which was actually in our Kraken index at, I believe, 44 cents, and went up at some point to 80 something cents, and now it's back to 60 or 70 cents range. And also was flagged by our TM grade, part of our indices, and it's being traded on the major exchanges as of right now. So keep an eye on this Origin Protocol. And other than that, we also had Lido DAO that I also shared the TM grade plot. Grade is also still pretty high, 88.75, and it's a staking solution for Ethereum.
Okay, so what starts to happen is that, you're like, well, okay, that's nice. There were some coins that mooned. So it's good that you know what sector those coins are in. Now, coming soon to our website, you'll be able to chart the TM grade along with price. I know there are people on the live stream asking for that. But the benefit of looking backwards to see what sectors are rallying could be an indication of what happens going forward. In other words, if you look at the market from top down, you're like, okay, Bitcoin and ETH should go up because they're the future of money because of macro reasons. What Jad is showing you is, like, from equities, it's bottom up, right? It's like, hey, look at these small caps that are rallying. What sectors are they in? And what does that tell you about the market? Oh, by the way, all our other quant stuff's beaconing green, and everybody's buying NFTs in front of NFTLA, Metaverse, and in a way, DeFi's coming back. So if you look at the case for Bitcoin, the quant work, and what's been rallying, right, that should tell you something about what can happen next, right? About how hard to look for coins in the future and how seriously to take some of these overall market momentum signals that we're getting that are positive.
I agree exactly what you said in terms of bottoms up, because like I remember quite well in November, December, we started seeing Pax Gold, Tether Gold being in our indices, and then a few stable coins started popping up, which allowed our indices to not have big drawdowns during that period. And then we also saw these shifts of or cycles, as you might say, in terms of we suddenly started seeing a lot of privacy coins popping up in our indices, like Monero. Zcash was there as well, and then we saw waves coming up and stayed in our indices for quite some time alongside Terra. So you can see that, okay, these specific coins outperformed the market a lot, and we were able to capture and get exposure to these specific coins in our indices by just using the TM grade. Yeah, and now the last coin I want to just talk about, the Ishi coin, which has been going up a lot, 20% over the past 24 hours. Only it's, just looking at this short paragraph, it allows users to create a stable coin for their community, which is pretty interesting. And it's a governance token that allows users to govern the DAO. Market cap is still pretty low. It's below 200 million, fully diluted valuation at 210 million. So also very important to keep an eye on this coin.
All right, folks, let's go over what we told you. The market is turning from a mathematical and momentum point of view. Small coins with very unique sector themes are moving. So are highly speculative themes. Now that means if stocks go lower, okay, think about dip buying. Frequently with our momentum systems, they'll be triggered and then there'll be a dip. And the real test is, will the market dip and then turn around and take out the levels where the momentum signals appeared? So if you're watching Polkadot or Ethereum on TokenMetrics.com, this can be something to look out for. We definitely want to thank Jad, and don't forget the whole department and group that's with them. Token Metrics is not just a YouTube channel, right? It's a company. And there's a lot of people behind the math that we do. There's a lot of people behind the TA that I do. All right. So with that said, all right, stay with TokenMetrics.com, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and give us a thumbs up if you like the content. So this is Bill Noble on behalf of Jad. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.